Hello and welcome to this demonstration of Neuro AR didactic tool. It's meant to teach kids and adults the various parts of the brain. It's noteworthy in this context is that the brain was heavily edited by me. I just got the vertices and I painted them, and I did a lot of work on the models in this system. In fact, everything else is made from scratch except for the knife. All of this is in the documentation. Now please read the documentation before you see this. The problem with this demonstration is that the open source version essentially took 15 gigs for the 4 minutes, and this Snagit version, as is well documented on the web, disables keyboard input. So if you'd like, you could just compile my source code and see that all the keyboard input works as advertised. The two things that we will not be able to review today are the scaling, because they require the keyboard. Luckily for selection and the meat stabbing mode, I've created these virtual buttons. Why not scale? Because that took too much screen real estate. It was just blocking it up. So you could just compile and see that it works perfectly. I hope you don't detract points for that. Selection, let's get to it. When you, as it says, hold down the selection, press there, and stab a chunk of meat. Now notice that several chunks were selected at the same time. Well, that's because the meat mode over here was selected for true. That sort of follows the metaphor, but we want to actually go with the ability to toggle that off. So after you press the off toggling, you could see meat mode equals false, and when we select another object now, you could see that only one is being selected at the same time. Now let's talk about positioning. Positioning occurs when you just let go of the spacebar or button respectively. Scaling occurs when you do those things and press S. You can see the scaling landing strip. Notice that when I press on the button and I'm dragging around a lobe, it says what lobe it is on top. It says the type of mode being performed on it, so in this case transition. And then right here next to my pinky, where I'm pointing at, there's a note. In addition to space or third button, you may now hold S to scale. There's all of these notes sort of serve to supplement, so to avoid cognitive overload. Since we're running out of time, I'm just going to sort of run through a rotation, and we let go. Everything is very seamless, and we rotate, we let go, and we could do it for another chunk as well. Notice that the chunk selected is changing to the prefrontal cortex again. You can just see the models, and there's full rotation in all directions as required, seamless, etc. Finally, transfer between markers. So that is achieved while selected. We are going to take out the ground array and show you that the item that was selected does not require the ground array, and when we bring the ground array back, everything that's attached to it is there. When I let go of that, take out the ground array, you could see that the item disappeared. That just shows the transfer between marker array as required. The errors, because I just ran out of time, I hope that you could look in the documentation. Everything is shown there, and if sort of you want additional proof that everything works, just please compile the version. Snagit screwed up my life after a very long and toilsome week. I wish I could have shown you it, but just remember that when you scale, bring it closer to this scaling landing strip and farther in order to do that. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Why isn't this stopping?